Okay, so today, sitting in class, I remember something that happened to me and some of my friends about a year ago. We were all out at a music gig and sitting outside drinking and having a cigarette. This black man in all red approached us and proceeded to tip out a huge bag full of alcohol. He said, "Free alcohol, girl. Take as much as you like." Being drunk and in a group, we laughed and took some and continued to chat. He accepted these invitations to sit beside my best friend and myself. Now, my best friend and I are particularly aggressive, and not to pair you would want to piss off pretty much. So this guy sit down and asked if we want to smoke a joint. My best friend and I are both heavy pot smoker, so we exactly take up the offer, to which he replied that he will only smoke with us if we buy an ounce from him. We tell him to get fucked and continue talking. He gets angry. He starts asking me to give him a blowjob because apparently I supplied you with alcohol. So now it's your turn to pay me back. He starts trying to pull at my dress and get progressively more angry and violent. As I mentioned, my best friend and I are not afraid to stick up for ourselves, and we did exactly that. I stand up and really loudly say, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? Get the fuck off me!" and then hit his hand away. My best friend also stand up, so she and I are standing over this guy, screaming at him, calling him a fucking pervert, and telling him to stand up and walk away. Before he regretted it, he stand up too. He's slightly taller than us, but yet we continue to scream and tell him he's disgusting and should never expect something like this from a girl. He get right up in my face and start yelling at me, literally screaming at me, telling me that he want all of his alcohol back, and that we are stupid slut, and we are missing out on what he's got to offer. Yeah, missing a lot clearly. My friend and I both gather the cans and start throwing them at him, saying, "Take back all your alcohol and get the fuck over here." Then he then pick up a bottle and start smashing them at the ground in front of us and getting angry. It was fucking insane. He was honestly so pissed off that I turned from drunk, brave to terrified because I didn't know what this man was capable of. And we were sitting down a side street off and a not so nice street, and no one was around. My friends and I turned around completely bolted up the street. He chased us and continued to throw a bottle at us, and they smashed, one cutting my leg pretty badly. He chased us for 10 minutes before we finally see a gas station and run into it. He stood outside screaming at us while I was talking to the police about what was going on. Luckily, a car was in the area, so they arrived relatively quickly and got these lunatics off the streets. About 4 days later, I received a call asking me for identifying this man, and he was wanted for sexual assault of a minor and aggravated robbery. So luckily, we escaped. I understand that my friend's actions may have caused him to get angry, but he had no right to ask for sexual favor, and I still feel that we were putting him in this place. Regardless, I hate to think of how it could have turned out if we decide to stick around and stand our ground. So, insane alcohol man, let's not meet. Hey guys, a little disclaimer that I could not be a better writer and be lengthy. Another little disclaimer that I did not make the best decision and was stupid, so please forgive me on that part too. When I was 20, my friend and I went to Anime Expo in Los Angeles for the summer. We stayed at my friend's aunt's place, so we had a free place. When Anime Expo was over, we went to Hollywood and the beach. At Hollywood, it's around 4 p.m. When my friend wanted to go to the wax museum and more, I didn't want to go and spend money on that. I tried to save my money for other things, so I told them that I met them up later. I decided to go to the most populated area I could think of, which was this outdoor mall filled with tourists, thinking if someone was going to hurt me, I could scream bloody murder and someone would help me. As I walked up to step, as a couple of teenage boys asked to take a picture with me. This never happened to me, and I was confused as hell, but there were people talking, taking place which consumes people as a tourist thing. But I was no consume, just an regular thing. I had platinum blonde short style hair, and I'm Asian. So I thought maybe that's why I quickly said no and they stopped asking me. I went to a sitting area to call my mom, and a man approached me, asking to take a picture of me, saying I was exotic and stylish. He was well dressed and looked clean. I said I didn't want to, and he continued asking. I was tired of walking a lot. I just wanted to call my mom, and I told people are taking pictures with strangers right now here, so I let him take a picture with me. A really dumb idea, I know. After he took pictures in his phone, he thanked me and went his way. Horror washed over me as I realized what taking a picture could mean. I ran after the man and told him to wait. He was going up the escalator and just drunk it at me. He went into the bathroom and I waited for him to get out to ask him to delete the picture. He left the bathroom and I played it with him to delete it. He then got very behind me and very close, like his chest, and pressed against my back, and he said in a low voice that he had done nothing wrong to me, and that I let him take a picture. He then showed me this picture of people who let him take a picture with him and said I was disrespectful to him. I was shy and I just apologized. I didn't want to cause a comment then, even though I went to a crowded place to scream help if I were needed. And I said I just wanted to delete the picture. He was speaking to me in whisper now, and it was uncomfortable. He said, "Fine, I'll delete it." He pushed a button, but as soon as he did, he left the phone, and I didn't see it delete. He walked off, and I felt like he never deleted. But I was already scared and just wanted to call my mom, so I didn't go after him again. I decided to dye my hair as a natural dark brown and grow it long so I don't attract that type of attention again. My experience isn't as bad as other, but I don't want to experience something like this again. I don't know if my story is in the right place, but here's go. My mom's always made me sure my sister and I were well traveled. We visited many different countries since we were young and have made great memories. But this one country, every time I think of going back, I get terrified. We went to Vietnam and Thailand when I was about 7 years old. The local tour guide laid his eye on me and told my mom never to let me out of here sight because there were gangs who would snatch kids up, beat them, and then put them back on the street to beg for money. Being very young then, I hate being watched all the time, so I kept trying to sleep away from my mom. One night in Bangkok, we were walking to a night market. Along the streets were nightclubs, and in front of the nightclubs were these menacing-looking bouncers. According to the tour guide, most clubs were owned by the gangs. It was a crowded night, and we had to squeeze past literally hundreds of people amid everything. My mom lost her grip on me, and the crowd swallowed me up. What happened next still lives in my mind. A very large hand clamped itself on my wrist and started to yank me toward the club. I looked up and saw a creepy looking man smiling down at me. I couldn't even scream. Then suddenly my mom appeared in front of me. She flashed the guide the most evil dead glare, and he immediately pulled his hand back. He patted my head, glared at my mom, and disappeared into the club. If my mom was a second late, I am convinced I would have my arms and legs chopped off and made to be a beggar in a foreign country. So, that evil Thai guy, I doubt to I'll see you again, and I will keep it that. I slipped out of mom's grasp and almost got kidnapped by an evil gang member. Mom came to save the day, and I got the worst scolding in my life afterward. That's just the video of the Halloween special. I know everything about that. This is quite to be the finest ones, but usually about that, the next video I will make is iceberg again. And if this video was inaccurate, I will apologize about that. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the new Ongoam24. And happy Halloween, everyone!